Oh my God, we're back. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Dose of OJ, back on the video feed. This feels good. This feels
About
good.
damn time, Xfinity.
Listen,
It's your fault.
it's still not fixed.
Well, I thought we're on Zoom. It's got to
So
be
we're
some
on,
kind of fix.
but listen, it's still not fixed. So the guy, one of the texts came and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna replace that."
And they ghosted you at first, though, right? Didn't they?
Yes, they ghosted me. I'm still pissed about that. But this
Rightfully
guy came and he's like, I'm going to replace the box on the outside. I'm like, okay, whatever. So apparently they can't come in your house right now because of COVID.
How are they supposed to fix anything then?
That's kind of what I said. Like,
that doesn't make any damn sense.
Just wear a mask.
Wear a mask, wear some gloves, and come fix my stuff.
So he replaced like the entire thing on the outside. And he's like, it should be good. And I'm like, yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda, bro. So it was good for, I'm not kidding, 5 minutes. And then I lost connection. Like, so basically what happens is, for everybody like wondering, my internet isn't slow. It's pretty fast, but it just doesn't stay connected. And it doesn't, like, if I closed my computer right now and opened it back up, it would ask me to put in the password for my Wi-Fi. And I shouldn't have to do
that's what
that.
it's doing? Oh, yeah, see, that makes more sense. That's messed up.
And yes, for everyone wondering, I do have Remember This network checked. Like, I'm not computer illiterate. I hate when people, especially at cable companies and internet companies, they're like, so, like, do you have it plugged in? Like,
dude,
yeah.
That is the worst. When you talk to those people on the phone that are like the help service people, they're the worst. They are of absolute no help. They can go through all their prompts and literally, like, you don't think I've tried all these things? Reset your router. You don't think, dumbass, come on. All you gotta do is unplug it from the wall. That's all you got to do. It's not that hard. You don't think I've tried that already? I wouldn't have called you if that fixed it.
100%. So
you know what I'm saying?
So basically right now we're just getting really, really lucky with this internet, and like no one else is home. So like there's no reason that I should have an issue here, but we'll be all right. So
knocking on some wood.
Yeah,
can't hear that.
Have any wood.
Shout out my desk that may or may not actually be wood. So if it's not wood, we're gonna find out here soon.
It's schmud. So I
more
guess
like IKEA wood.
Hey man, I love IKEA. That's the spot.
The stores are fun to go into. Yeah, I will tell you that.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get into the show here. We always like to start out, of course, as a non-sports related topic. And today's topic is going to be more of a discussion. And we could go top 3 here. We could go, or just, bona fide number 1. But we want to talk about talents and not sports related talents. Like, not I want to shoot a basketball really well, or I want to throw 95. Like, it's not that. You have to have a talent that you get to pick any talent in the world, as long as it's not sports related. What would you pick? Because I have, like, hands down right away, I have a bona fide number 1.
Go ahead with your bona fide number 1. That should be, I should have that trademark, by the way. You shouldn't be allowed to use that.
I'm on the show with you. What do you mean? I'm not making money.
Bona fide number 1 is my thing.
Okay, then
that's my thing. I have a bona fide number 1. You have a number 1. There's a difference.
All right, fight me in real life. Here's my number 1. Here's my number 1, and without a doubt, this has been my answer for like 10 years.
Okay.
Singing.
That's a good one.
Look, if I
feel
could
like it's
sing,
a really common one though. It's kind of basic.
Man, if I could sing, I would never stop. It'd be like,
you would like ever.
It'd be like, fucking McDonald's, I can help you. Like, can I get a number 1 with fries? And they're like, please pull forward. I'm like, man.
Well, until you can sing, let's keep the singing on the low, because I don't know if I ever want to hear that again.
Yeah, no, but like, so last year, quick little sidebar, but it's related. I picked up guitar, and I've been playing, pretty much every day for probably going on a year, actually. And, I could play a bunch of songs, but I'm like, how cool would it be if I could sing all the songs that I know? Like, now I could sing them, but would anyone want to
sing them?
Yeah.
You can sing them, but you can't
sing
them. I mean, not to the point where anybody wants to like hear it sing.
Everybody's like, okay, shut the fuck up. No one cares anymore. We get it. Yeah.
But you could, just out of irony, you could just write a Dose of OJ theme song with your guitar, just with your terrible vocals. That could just be ironic to the bone that only people that listen to the show would know, and it'd be funny to us and nobody else.
I would probably, I don't know why I thought of this, but I would probably go, the No Sleep Till Brooklyn?
By the Beastie Boys?
Yes. I would
Yeah.
probably go with something like that, but it would have to do with like No Pulp Gang or like Pulp Gang or something.
No pulp till what? No pulp till Owen?
No Pulp Till OJ.
No pulp. Wait, see,
No Pulp Till OJ.
I'm not gonna lie, that'd be kind of dope. We need to get something like that mixed together.
Yes. I'm telling you.
Okay, so I don't know that I actually have a bona fide number one, so I'll let you have that one for this episode because
Thanks.
Having a number one for this, it's a very wide range of things that I could pick from. Let's see. If I could have one talent, I guess this is kind of out there, but it'd be being able to like have a sixth instinct when it comes to the stock market. You know what I'm saying?
Like you'd want to be able to like day trade.
Yeah, because I feel like to do that, you kind of have to know what the hell you're doing, and also be pretty lucky.
You got to have a little business intuition. Our boy Alex does that a little bit.
Yeah, he does, but the thing is, you get a lot of scamming and stuff on the internet. People try and sell you these courses, but you can't teach someone how to do it. They kind of have to learn it for themselves.
Which is a perfect segue, guys. We hope you're excited. Next weekend, we're dropping our Dose of OJ Master Course. So it's only $499.
This is news to me.
Yeah. No.
Oh, Dose of OJ Master Course, $499. You're gonna learn how to have bad Wi-Fi. Let's see.
Total sham.
Yeah, it's a sham. You don't want this course.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else would people be able to learn from a Dose of OJ Master Course? Maybe that should be a segment within itself, Josh. What would people learn if we sold a Dose of OJ Master Course?
Probably how to and I don't know, probably like work your computer without seeing. All right. Close your eyes. Okay, hit that key. All right, you're good. That's what it would be.
They could learn how to run everything through voice control.
True.
There you go. Dose of OJ Master Course. See, that's all you need right there.
Big fan.
One talent, that's one. My second one would be piano. Piano's a good one. Dude, if I could just kill the piano, it'd be great.
My mom can play the piano.
April used to play piano.
So like she can play and like she could play like songs, but if you're like Freebird, she's like, no, absolutely not. Like she only plays the stuff.
Speaking of Freebird, did you see my tweet the other day?
Which one?
So I was at work the other day, right? And we're not supposed to have headphones on the floor. Yeah. I'm not sure. I doubt if you're listening to this, you saw this tweet, but struggle bus day for Owen. So I had my headphones in when I wasn't supposed to. I was working, and my boss comes up to me, not like my supervisor, but like my big boss that I'm cool with. And I'm lucky that he laughed at this, but nonetheless, it was a scary moment for like 2 seconds. So he walks up to me while I'm working, just sneaks up out of nowhere and is like, "Hey, Owen, you know you're not supposed to have headphones on the floor, right?" And I decided to say, would it help if I told you that the guitar solo to Freebird just started? And that was my response. And I kind of looked at him like a dumbass, and he just started laughing, thankfully. But yeah, that's how that went. But I was feeling some Freebird, because once you get to that guitar solo, you're invested. You've gone through all the build up. You're there. You're ready to rock out, and it was ruined.
Oh man. Yeah. Shout out to your supervisor for laughing at that.
Yep. Good stuff.
Man, honestly, so my second one. So now that I know how to play guitar, like that's kind of off the list because it's been on my list for a while. But my second one would probably be something along the lines of like being able to whip up like crazy meals.
Being able to cook would be a good one. I'll tell you what, my dad can cook like something serious. And you can turn some things into things that, I just never knew you could actually consume from. Does that make any sense what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I know exactly.
You can turn dinner into breakfast, and it tastes like breakfast, and it's the craziest thing. It's like blows my mind. So cooking would be a good one for sure. Yeah, I like that pick, Josh.
Yeah. So and then probably my last one would be Probably something like I don't know. I guess see, this isn't really a talent. This is supposed to be like a life skill, but
Okay.
I'm gonna admit that I don't have it.
Okay.
Like fixing anything. Like
Oh my God. Yeah.
like like if something breaks, instead of being like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do?" It's like, "Don't worry, I got a screwdriver, a hammer, and a couple screws, and I'll take care of it." No
Listen,
problem.
you're telling me that you wish you could be able to do that? I live in a small town in Pickens. Everybody here can do it except for me. It's the worst. I can't do it. It seems like everyone I'm around, if I say, you know, this is broken. Oh, this is how you fix it. You didn't know that? No. You don't think I would have asked if I knew how to fix it?
Yeah.
Jackass. It's it's hard sometimes. That's what she said. Um, let's yeah. That not my best. That's what she
You've
said.
had better.
I definitely. That's what she said.
Ah.
Moving into sports a little bit. Something funny. Well, funny is probably not the vernacular to use for this
You want to go into
situation.
sports, or you want to do trending first?
Oh yeah, let's do trending. Trending first.
Okay,
Josh,
go
what's your
ahead.
trending topic
Oh,
of the
all
day?
right. So this was from a couple days ago, and I didn't care about the trend, but I really think
Mm-hmm.
this would spark up a conversation. So I earmarked it
Yeah,
when Spotify went down.
that was that. Do you know why it went down though?
No, I don't. I didn't
It
look
is
into it.
because of Juice World. Juice
Ooh,
Juice
so
World's new album dropped
so
at
too many
midnight
people are streaming it.
on Thursday night. I stayed up till midnight Thursday night to listen to it. You're from Chicago, Josh. You should know about
No, no, no.
Juice
Okay,
World,
so
man.
no, like I knew it dropped. I just didn't. I saw it. It was like, oh, Spotify down, but I didn't actually click on it and be like, oh, that's why. I just,
Well, I so it went down twice. Thursday night at midnight when the album dropped, I couldn't listen to it for like the first 15 minutes because every time you clicked on it, Spotify wouldn't load because so many people were trying to stream it
Mhm.
as soon as it dropped. The next day on Friday, throughout the middle of the day, it kind of went down again too, which is a whole nother thing. But I didn't see exactly why it went down the second time. The first time I knew for sure is because they got over flooded at midnight by people trying to listen to an
Yeah.
album. So
So here's what I want to bring up because people were like, oh, this would never happen on Apple Music. And like, okay. So I wanted to have this quick discussion because I used to be like all like 100% hands down Spotify. Like you're not catching me listening to Apple Music. And it helped that Spotify had the student deal where it was like $5 a month with a .edu. And I know Apple
mhm.
has it too, but I don't know, for some reason I liked Spotify more. And then I tried Apple Music and I'm like, this is so much better. This is so much better.
See, listen, here's my experience between the two. So I started on Spotify when I first started like actually streaming music in high school when I got my first phone. I started on Spotify and then I switched to Apple Music, and Apple Music's still good. Don't get me wrong, but then I switched back to Spotify like 6 or so months ago,
Mhm.
and after being on Apple Music and thinking it was good, and then going back to Spotify, especially now, I think Spotify is better. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think
Yeah,
the
so I
playlists that are made for you, all of it. I think just all around.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So the one really key feature, and like for me, I'm not gonna go like really search for music. I'm just gonna play whatever the hell's getting played for me.
Hmm.
But on Spotify, the perk of using Spotify is the ability and the ease of finding new music. Like
They want you to discover new music.
they have New Music Friday, which is always cool. But if you're like, okay, like if you're a country, it's like, yeah, I want to find new country. You type in new country music, and the first thing that comes up is New Boots. And you click on New Boots and it plays new country for you. So like
Hmm.
it's so easy. But for on Apple, for me, I don't know. I mean, the one perk for me specifically is like if a song is being played even in my headphones or on my phone, I can be like, I don't want to set her off, but hey, you know who? Add this song to my library, and she'll be like, okay, add it to your library, and she'll keep playing. So like that's nice, and you can't do that on Spotify with Siri, but yeah, I mean that they both have their pros and cons. Like, and actually, here's what I noticed. Like, this is the last thing I'll say about it. I noticed right away, even with adjusting the adjusting the audio settings in each app,
Yeah.
that Apple Music might be higher quality, but the music doesn't go as loud.
No, it doesn't. I noticed that too. I thought it was just me at first because I listen to my music loud basically all the time,
Mm-hmm.
especially if I'm by myself. So I thought it was just me that noticed that, but I'm glad somebody pointed that out too. I'm not 100% sure why, but I think it just comes down to preference. They're both good, but Spotify is more my cup of tea.
Sure.
So moving on to my trending topic, something that I thought was funny. Shouldn't be funny, but this person, people's plural. I'm not even phrasing things right today,
People's
Josh.
plural.
People's plural. God, this is this person's fault. 30-year-old person in Texas died after attending a COVID party.
Oh, I love
Um,
those.
yeah, I don't understand the logic. I'm as skeptical of everything going on right now as a lot of other people. But how is it any kind of a good idea to go attending a COVID party? What do you think's going to happen?
Well, so I don't know why this conversation has come up, like, because in the COVID parties that were going on in Alabama that we talked about before, so that conversation sort of came up this weekend with some family over, and I'm like, listen, and this is true, like, I don't want to hear any backlash from anybody. Going to a party with someone who has COVID, with more people who have COVID, like, this isn't like, oh, he's gonna come, he has COVID, he thinks he has COVID. Like, these are, hey, 25 people are coming over and they all have positive tests. I basically said, this is like meeting a girl on the street and going, hey, do you have COVID? And she's like, actually, yeah, like, stay away. And instead of going, oh my God, okay, I'm going to go away, and like,
You just give her a big hug.
yeah, you just kiss her square on the mouth. Like, you want to make out a
Yeah,
little bit?
that'll do it right there.
Like, you want to make out a little bit or what? And boom, you got it. Like, listen, you can think whatever you want, and I'm talking to the listeners here. You can think whatever you want about COVID, and like, is it real? Is it as bad as they thought it was? Is it a conspiracy? You can do whatever you want. But one thing you cannot deny is how easy it spreads.
And going to a COVID party is probably one of the worst things you could decide to do right now.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yep,
I used to think foam parties were stupid. Now, that don't sound too bad.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too bad compared to this. Usman Masvidal, UFC 251, concluded last night. Way too late, dude. The card, I know.
It was like midnight.
Josh, dude, the fight,
Here.
the main event did not start until like 1 here. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's nuts. Good thing it was a Saturday. My God.
Yeah, good thing it was a Saturday. See, and this is my beef with UFC too, right? Most of the time, I just want to watch the main event. The main event, Usman Masvidal, was not good. I didn't pay for it. I watched it, but I did not pay for it. Thankfully, I would have been pissed if I would have paid for it. The fights behind it were really good for the most part. Aldo got the crap beat out of him because he decided he was just going to be a defensive fighter the entire time. Ref should have called it really early. Dude was sitting there with his hands on his head on the ground for a solid like 20 seconds. Guy that was fighting him would back off, like look at the ref and keep going because it wasn't calling the fight. There was blood for a solid probably like 6 feet.
Sure?
Yeah, it was. He just kept hitting him in the head and he'd stop for a second and then he'd just keep going because the ref wasn't calling it. That was insane.
And I do have to say, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I have to say this, and I also have to get better at not cutting you off.
I don't care if you cut me off. Cut me off.
So I have to acknowledge the amount of respect these fighters have for each other, of like understanding in the heat of a fight to be like, this guy is literally like, this guy is in danger and I could really do damage to this dude's brain. I'm going to back off and look at the ref and go, dude, really? And if he's like, keep going, then I'm going to keep going. But like, having the wherewithal to be like, this guy is in trouble and I don't want to be the guy. Like, I mean,
it wasn't a full on like, ref, what are you doing? But you could tell because, like I said, Jose Aldo had his hands on his head on the ground for a minute, constantly getting his head bashed in, and the dude would stop for a couple seconds and then just keep going. Jose Aldo wasn't moving. So that fight went on for a solid 25, 30 more seconds than it needed to.
Yeah, so I have a few questions. Because I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest UFC fan. Like, I don't hate it at all. It's
Yeah.
not for me. Um, but do they still do like you can watch the prelims for free and then the pay per view is like the Usman fight is like you have to go pay for it, or is everything on pay per
Uh,
view?
I don't think so. I think the entire card you have to pay for pay per view
Okay,
because
okay,
all
so
the
then
all the prelim stuff was included in what was going on before the Masvidal fight.
okay, okay,
Who
so
also got $260,000
jeez.
betted on him to win literally right before the first round started, right before they did the ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to run? Right before all that mess is when they announced that somebody put $260,000 on him to win, and Masvidal got his ass kicked. I'm gonna be real. They said in the fight that he only had 6 days notice to prepare for the fight. Like they told him 6 days in advance that this was gonna happen, and he had to drop like 20 pounds
Yeah,
a
but that's
water
his
weight.
problem.
No, 100% his
Yeah, yeah,
problem.
yeah.
But it definitely contributed. Usman, I picked Masvidal to win. I shouldn't have, knowing all the background to the fight. But I mean, Masvidal, it went 5 rounds. Like I was telling Josh before the stream started, or before the episode started, that Masvidal probably would have had to knock him out in the fifth round just to even have just to win. I mean, Usman had him beat at the end of the fourth round. Really, it was not entertaining. They were against the cage the whole time. It was lame. I'm gonna be honest. Was not worth staying up till 1:30 a.m.
So what was the reaction of Fight Island?
Fight. It was okay. It was actually really cool being able to hear the fighters uh, between each other. And the big part was the coaches behind them in the cage. You could hear them yelling everything. It was pretty interesting. You could hear. I felt like I was right there. I feel like I was
Mhm.
sitting front row because there was no crowd noise. I could just hear everything. This is a sport I could deal without crowd noise. It was cool hearing all the little parts of the fight.
So I just think I don't want to go too off topic here, but you mentioned you could hear everything, and that immediately made me think of I can't remember who it was, so I'm gonna fail to credit this source, but uh, somebody tweeted about the Yankees, and they were like, "Yeah, we're watching the inter squad game," and obviously it was a reporter, and Brett Gardner in left field sneezed, and they could hear it like loud and clear. Like
Damn.
it was like it would be me like going, "Achoo," and you could just hear it.
That's
I'm like,
that's a different kind of silence, man.
that's hilarious.
That's also speaking of the Yankees, still can't stay healthy.
Oh,
Aaron Judge can't stay healthy. Having neck
yeah.
injuries, still nobody can stay healthy. Tanaka got hit in the head, dude. Speaking of Tanaka, I know
He
we
is a
haven't mentioned him
savage.
yet. Thank God he's okay. Like the fact that what happened to him happened and he only had a mild concussion is insane.
And then like he walked off the field by himself, got admitted to the hospital, and left the same day. The dude
Yeah,
is
under his own power. Line drive, like Josh, I know you couldn't see the video, but line drive, it's when I played baseball, one
112 miles an hour.
literally my worst fear playing baseball, if I was to go into pitch, was that exact thing right there, getting a line drive straight to the face.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
And
just, oh,
you think the fundamental way of pitching for anybody who doesn't know is when you follow through. So like your glove, you point your glove when you throw, and then you follow through and you tuck your glove, and then as soon as your back foot hits the dirt, this your left hand or your right hand, whichever one, comes up. So like you're ready to protect your face.
yeah,
And even then, so like for people on video, your glove is about here, and even then, going from where the glove is to like across your face is sometimes not enough time, and that's
yeah. I
nuts.
mean, with especially in the MLB, with how fast they can hit these balls, like these guys are pros.
Dude, I feel like so the 112 miles an hour. I could be completely wrong here, but I feel like when it hit him, he didn't feel it, but he didn't feel the impact, but the pain, like after
Was
it hit.
probably immediate. I mean, you don't think so?
Well, okay, so like if you flick your hand, like right away, you're like, okay, yeah, I felt where it flicked, where when my hand got flicked. But like I feel like it was going so fast that it just knocked him, like it just knocked him out. And then he got up and he was like, "Oh my god!" But yeah, I'm glad that he's good. I've seen some pretty disgusting injuries like that, and I do have to agree with the Yankees players like Gleyber Torres and everybody who was like, stop sharing the video.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to knock it too, I wouldn't want that to be going around. That would almost be a PTSD moment. I feel like to
Yeah,
watch that replay. If I were him, I wouldn't want to watch that ever again. I mean, hell, getting hit
yeah.
in the head like that. Uh, Another thing happened over in England. Crystal Palace's star player Wilfred Zaha, one of their wingers. I know a lot of you don't know who that is, but
No
he
idea.
received an Instagram message from a 12-year-old boy who said some racist things to him, and this 12-year-old boy got arrested
Do we know what he said?
in England. No, I'm sure there's pictures and stuff floating around on the internet
So
somewhere,
I'm gonna
but
ask
I
you.
couldn't find exactly what he said.
So what's what's this guy's descent? What's the soccer player's descent?
I think he's Ivory Coast is where he's from. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
Okay. So basically, this 12-year-old kid, let's be honest, when you're 12, you don't really know what you're doing. So he probably, I'm not going to like sit here and be like, if you say something racist, it's because you don't know better. But like, he's 12. So
Probably
I
heard it from
think,
somewhere else, to be fair. I mean,
very
let's
true.
be honest. If he's
Very
12
true.
years old,
100%. He heard it from somebody else, thought it would be funny to say, or thought he'd be getting under his skin. And honestly, listen, I'm old school when it comes to certain things like this. I'm glad he got arrested. Like,
I mean,
don't
you
don't have
gotta
the
you gotta learn
police
somehow.
don't have the police come to your house and be like, "Don't do that, okay? Don't do that." I would have tased him. I'd be like, "Bro,
Well, it was
get on the ground."
it was before Crystal Palace played Aston Villa, and the kid was an Aston Villa fan, from what I saw. So not only did he get arrested, but Aston Villa, from what I saw, is prepared to give this person a lifetime ban. Like he can never come to the
Good,
stadium again.
good,
I mean,
good,
it's you can't say stuff like that to
good.
people, man. Like, come
You
on.
made an adult remark as a 12-year-old kid. So see you later. Sorry.
Yep, yep. Patrick Mahomes got absolutely paid. We haven't talked about it yet, but I feel like everybody else was, so we're just going to be
Yeah,
quirky
listen.
and decide to talk about it 6 days afterwards.
Yeah, so if you don't care about this and what we're gonna say, then I guess just fast forward a little bit. But like, in my opinion, there hasn't really been a player in any sport that got paid like this, where I'm like, yeah, you know what, he deserves it. But Patrick Mahomes, to me, look, I get it. He doesn't have the 10-year,
Dude, but 10 years is a long time.
yeah,
A lot can happen in 10 years.
right. So, but here's the thing, like, Kansas City, it's not his fault. This is my biggest thing, my biggest gripe with people who are like, oh my God, I can't believe he got paid that much. Look, it's not his problem. Kansas City was like, here's 10 for $450. And he was like, okay, I'll sign it. PAT. Like, he signed it. It's not, he just signs on the line.
Okay, but how many Super Bowls does he have to win in order for it to be worth it? He's already won one.
So somebody told me, I can't remember who it was, but we were having this discussion and he asked me that question. And I was like, man, in 10 more years, depending on how Kansas City's, the rest of their team shakes up, I mean, you're probably looking at,
I mean, okay, to put it into perspective,
2 or 3 more.
There's only a handful of guys in NFL history that have ever won an MVP, a Super Bowl, and a Super Bowl MVP at all. There's a very select few quarterbacks that have ever done that. And for Patrick Mahomes to be as young as he is, to have already done it, to have a team as good as he does, I mean, it's only up from here. I'd say he has to win at least 3 total.
Oh, okay. I was like, at least 3 more. That's 4.
No, 3 total. At least 2 more.
Like, bro, that's a 40% clip. Like, damn. But yeah, no. So I just think that like Patrick Mahomes is like, he's a good dude, and like, okay, I'm basing that off of like things that I've heard and things that I've seen on social media. But like, I just think he's a good dude. He doesn't have any scandals surrounding him. He's a good leader, and like, he's not afraid to, like, he's not a fairy. Like, he's down to like lower his shoulder and get into it. So,
you know, his girlfriend was like ready to have a child as soon as he signed that contract.
He is one of the most annoying women ever.
Yeah, I've seen some clips of her cheering for her boy Pat, and
Like, look, hey, shut up. We get it.
She's gonna be poking some holes in some stuff sometime soon to
oh,
try
that's what
and.
she said. So, but yeah, like, no, I'm not hating on her being supportive. Just her voice. I can't.
It's
I can't do it.
you do you, Pat, but come on, dog. You
Come
know,
on, dog.
come on, dog. Patrick Mahomes, though, man. Two more Super Bowls, I
Congratulations.
think, would lock it up. Yeah, for
Give
real.
me hold a dollar,
Congratulations.
bro.
Richest. Yeah, dude. Okay, I was listening to some of the numbers, and the amount of money this dude is going to make per minute is insane. He
Isn't
could
it so
toss you. He could toss you like 10 grand and make it back 10 minutes later.
right? And isn't like the total number of the contract? And I knew this before, but I'm blanking. Isn't like the total number of the contract with like incentives and everything like that? If he hits all of them, up to upwards of like $503 million.
I think it's like 550 million.
Yeah. Yep, you're right. So it's another $100 million if he hits his incentives. Like
And the injury bonus, if he were to get hurt next year and never play in the NFL again, is like 60 something
it's
million.
140.
That's insane.
Like
He could
I'm not gonna
get
lie.
hurt this preseason, never play again, and make more than a
It'd be
vast
set for
majority of
life.
NFL players. Yeah, for real. Dude's probably already set for life.
For
Let's be real.
generations, set for generations, I should say. Because let me be honest, if you gave me $1 million, I could make it work. I'll make it work for the
Dude,
rest of
if
my
you
life.
gave me $1 million, I feel like I could turn it into a couple more $1 million. I'm gonna be honest.
I would just throw it in the bank, live on the interest, and get a part-time job. That's what I would do.
That's a good point. You think you could live on the interest, though? I don't think it'd be enough to live off at first,
Bro.
depending on what your interest rate was, right?
Throw that
Adult
thing in a
things.
mutual fund. You throw that thing. I mean, come on. Like you invest a little. Okay, how about this? You save 500,000. You throw 500,000 in a set of mutual funds and just go. Let it
Okay,
ride.
real question. Someone gives you $1 million. Okay, I'm gonna say a bigger number because I feel like it'd be too easy to spend 1 million in this amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say someone hands you $10 million and you have to spend it in 1 day.
I have
In
to
1
spend it
day,
on
or
like
else you
actual
lose the
things?
rest. Yeah, actual things.
Oh man.
I'm buying like 10 houses.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like I'm gonna invest it all. Technically, I
Is mess
spent it.
okay? Do you realistically think you could spend that much in 1 day though, over 24 hours?
Bro, I would buy apartment complexes. I would buy
Yeah, same.
the whole thing. Like I would be
Buy
okay.
something
So
that's gonna make me more money right after.
I would buy a house for me. I'd buy a house. I'd probably buy a house for my family, right? Just for like, hey, you want a house? It's all you. You want a new car? All you. Like I'll hook them up that way, pay off all the debt that they got and the whole thing, and then with the rest of it, I'd start to invest in real estate. I'd throw some in mutual funds. I'd throw some in
In a Roth IRA,
Roth.
all that kind of stuff.
The whole kit and caboodle. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's
it's
that's
pipe
tough.
dream.
Can you imagine though? Like, if someone gave you $1,000 and was like, okay, maybe not 1,000. If somebody gave you $10,000 and was like, hey, go spend this, I feel like at a point you're like, oh my god, like there's still $5,000 left. What am I going to spend this on? Can you imagine looking
Having
at
that problem with millions, like, oh, I got $2 million, man.
Damn.
What the hell else am I gonna buy?
Yeah. Oh,
I
man.
just
Maybe one day, maybe in my next life.
Yeah, another thing to mention that I don't think should have been mentioned at all, to be honest. It was made a big deal. Don't think it should have been. LeBron, Anthony Davis decided that they were going to wear their last names on the back of their jerseys. Not going to stay on this for too long. I mean, come on. They're grown-ass men, some of the richest people in the world, some of the most athletic people in the world, some of the most pull in the NBA. And if they want to do that, I'm sure they've had talks with plenty of people about what the repercussions of that choice would be. Like, it's not that big a deal. Wear your last name, wear a statement if you want to. LeBron has done enough in his personal life with all the extracurricular stuff he's done for Akron, for plenty of other communities. Like LeBron's personal, I don't know what, portfolio, I guess is what you use, speaks for itself. Like he shouldn't have to put a statement on the back of his jersey for people to be satisfied with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have a big problem with it. I'm really not trying to be like, oh, the kids nowadays. But like, I have a problem with someone going, like, having a preconceived notion of what they want somebody to do, even though it's a choice. Having a preconceived notion of like, hey, Owen, okay, So answer this question. Hey, Owen, would you rather have a strawberry starburst or a yellow starburst?
Oh, yellow starbursts
Are you
suck.
kidding me? Are you
Yellow
kidding? You
starbursts
think yellow
suck,
starburst?
Josh.
That's the
Yellow
problem.
starbursts are the worst. If I bought a big ass bag of starburst, I would save the yellow
We've been
ones
through
and
this.
and give them to
Yeah,
somebody
we've been
else.
through this. You're supposed to give me a bunch of yellow starbursts for Christmas this year. But like that's the
I'm gonna
problem.
do that. I'm literally gonna send you a 10-pound bag of yellow starburst, and it's gonna be a meme on the internet. So I hope you're prepared. I'm not forgetting that. I'm writing it down right now.
So, but like that's the problem of like, hey, you have a choice. What are you gonna do? And someone's like, I think I'll take instead of A, I'll take B. And they're like, oh my God, are you kidding me? You're gonna take B? You're an idiot. It's like it was a choice. It was a choice.
Yeah,
Wait a second.
don't be mad at people for picking a choice if you gave them a choice. Now, obviously,
Yeah.
that only goes so far. Like certain things are universal. You know what I mean. But you get the idea of what we're trying to say. Trivia, Josh.
Ooh. So
What's the
this one,
score?
so it's what is the
Is
score?
it still 7 to
7 to
6.5?
6.5?
6.5. I forgot about the damn half point.
So you screwed me over with a history question last time. So
That's your opinion.
I hope you like science.
Oh God, I don't.
Okay, so here's how this one is going to work. This is a 2-part question, and each part is worth a half a point. So it could be 8 to 6.5. It could be 7.5 to 6.5. This is ridiculous. Or it could be 7 to 6.5. So are you ready?
A lot of options here, but let's get going.
Yeah. Okay, so your trivia question for today is, what was Newton's first law?
Newton's first law?
Newton's first law.
Gravity.
Incorrect.
Fucking hell.
Would you okay, so this is pretty tough. Would you like another guess?
I'll take another guess. That doesn't mean I'm going to get it right.
I mean,
So
go for it. If you get it right, I'll give it to you.
Gravity is not the answer, though.
Gravity is not the answer.
Newton's first law. April's sitting in the background like, I know it. Don't give me the answer. This isn't fair to the people. April, yeah.
Whoa! Hey! Shh! Hey! 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 Hey!
Okay, I actually hold on.
This is not a partner test.
This is not a partner test. Everything that does something, something that is in motion must stay in motion. Something like that. That's something close.
Okay,
that's about all I got.
So I'm not giving you the fucking point.
Okay, I don't deserve the point. What's the answer?
So Newton's first law is inertia, and the second part of the question was going to be, what is the law of inertia? And the law of inertia is something that is in motion or at rest will stay in motion or at rest unless acted upon by an outside force.
How the fuck was I supposed to get that right, Josh? How was I supposed to get that right? The answer was Fort Knox, not everything that must stay in motion.
Oh, no. But if you would have gotten some, like, I wasn't looking for word. But if you were able to give me something,
then
like,
if you weren't looking for word, then I was pretty close.
Yeah, but you did. I said, what is his first law? And you
okay, then then I at least deserve a quarter of a point.
It is. I'm not giving you 7.25. Like, we're both we need to go back to college to get this score right. It's not happening. I'm sorry.
That's fake, Josh. I don't appreciate that. That was a little. That was.
Yeah.
Look,
well, now you know how it feels. Not getting.
Listen. I'm the guy that said he hits dingers in the Little League World Series, and you're Clayton Kershaw right now with that question. That's not fair.
Oh man. I think my blood pressure just went up. Oh man.
You're telling me after hearing that question?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Dose of OJ. Don't know why you do sometimes.
This is exactly why. Oh man.
7 to 6.5. Point total still stands.
Yep.
I think I should have 7.25, but that's just me. So we'll keep it at 7 to 6.5, even though I for my jumble of words felt like I deserved a 0.25. But thank you for listening. Follow, subscribe, rate the pod wherever you guys listen. You know we really appreciate it. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Owen_Watterson, at Josh Barlog. Sorry about the No Friday episode, by the way. Life happens sometimes. Things happen. Have a family, have a kid. Josh has things.
Yep.
Josh has things.
So listen, I pretty much have Wi-Fi. I have a dog. I get dog.
Josh has a dog he has to feed and some laundry he has to do.
Laundry. I got some shows to watch. Oh my God, I watched Uncut Gems. Amazing.
You watch Uncut Gems? I heard it was trash.
It was amazing. It was really good. Okay,
maybe
maybe
the
not
ending
amazing.
was wild though.
Maybe not amazing, but it was pretty good. But I want to finish this episode with a quick thought about this life happens thing. So I know a lot of people who listen to podcasts regularly. Like if we have a diehard listener, and I'm talking to you, bro. If we have a diehard,
we know you're listening, Alex.
Yeah, we have a diehard listener, and let's say we go 19 straight months of Monday, Wednesday, Friday episodes, and then something happens and we just can't get out a Monday episode or Wednesday episode. Maybe even sometimes. What if it's a whole week? If a listener of this podcast is upset that life happened and we couldn't figure out a way to get an episode out, and they're upset by it, stop listening to the podcast. Because
boom, dose of OJ course, whatever we called it earlier.
Yeah, it's your master course. So
that's it right there.
If you have a problem with life happening, listen, to be honest with you, we always try to get an episode out. If we have to record at 2:00 in the morning, we'll probably record at 2:00 in the morning. But sometimes things happen that are out of our control, and sometimes life happens, and you have to take care of life before you take care of anything else. And let's be real, this is just a podcast. It's just a podcast. We're here to entertain you guys. We're here to make you guys laugh. We're here to talk about things, but it's just a podcast.
Sometimes we're here to talk about things. Sometimes we just talk out of our ass, but that doesn't mean we don't love you guys. But we appreciate you for listening. Life does happen sometimes, and if you can't be okay with that, then Dose of OJ isn't for you. But nonetheless, if it is okay for you, then stick around and listen to us get 0.25 and half points, and we will see you guys next time. Josh, you got anything else?
I got nothing. We'll see you guys next time.